to my channel. If you are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Laura and I am equal parts coffee and fashion. I post on YouTube once a week and it's typically a luxury review or unboxing video. And I also post twice a day on Instagram, so if you're interested in that, make sure to check me out there. Today we're going to be doing another update on the LV COUSSIN bag. I posted an update on the bag 1 month after I had it, so that probably went live end of April. But now I've had the bag for roughly 3 months. So I just wanted to answer some questions that people had been asking me about the bag, just do some more mod shots of the bag. I also wanted to do a quick story time because there was actually something that was damaged about the bag that I had to get repaired. So I just wanted to explain what my experience was with that. So let's jump right into it. So I purchased this bag on February 26th. It was delivered to my house on March 1st, and within the first few weeks, I had only used the bag a few times. It's white. I was really afraid to take it out and really use it. We're in the middle of a pandemic, so I probably took it out twice for date night, and then I also did some photographs with the bag, but that was pretty much it. In those first few weeks, I started to notice some serious wear on the gold chain. So I had the repair specialist look at the chain with me, and he indicated that he did notice pretty significant wear. However, he felt that that was kind of normal, that it was the nature of the chain, the way that the two links rubbed together. The gold finish was going to come off eventually. However, he did offer to send it in for me and have a new chain sent out. First, the only option was to actually send my original chain link in, and then they would just have me pick up the new chain link once it was delivered to the Soho store. But I was very uncomfortable with sending that chain in just because I know the wait list for this bag is so long, and I didn't know how long it would take for the new chain to come in. I wasn't very optimistic that they were going to be able to send me a new chain strap within the 2-week timeline that the repair specialist told me, as I do know that the wait list for this bag in some countries is over a year. So I did ask if I could please hang on to the chain, and after a little while the repair specialist said that that would be fine. I could hang on to the old chain, and then once the new one was delivered to the store, they could just swap it out for me. I am very grateful that I did decide to hang on to mine because it was delivered to the store on May 4th, and that's when I went to go pick it up. So it was a little bit over a month that it took for the new chain to come in. Considering that the wait list for this bag is so long, I do feel waiting 1 month to have a whole new chain replaced is really reasonable. But for me personally, I didn't want to be without the chain on the bag for an entire month because I do feel like that makes such a big part of the bag. You know, I think that that's like the whole point of the bag is to have this like big chunky chain on it. So, you know, I really didn't want to be without that part of the bag for an entire month. On May 4th, I did go back to the Soho store and I picked up my new chain, and I was so excited. It was beautiful and shiny and perfect. However, I did still notice that there was some wearing in between the chain links, and this was without any use. It was a brand new strap. So yeah, I definitely see now that that's just something that's going to happen. There's really no way to protect the chain from doing that. It's just something to be mindful of if you are going to get this bag. There is going to be some wearing in between the chain links and some discoloration. So there's a little bit there. Here's another one. I hope you can see that. It looks like it's wearing off. And yeah, but overall this is pretty much a brand new strap, and I've only used it a few times since I've had it replaced, so it's definitely not nearly as significant as it was in my other bag. When I picked up the chain link strap from the store, the repair specialist asked me if I was happy with the condition of it, and I said yes. You know, it definitely looks great, and I can see that there's really nothing you can do. The wear is going to happen. I did have a previous conversation with client services though that did make me feel a lot more comfortable, because they said if the wear continued on the strap or any other part of the bag, that I would probably have the opportunity to swap it out for a different bag and potentially get a bag that came with the silver chain length, which I definitely feel would have significantly less wear since it is not you know, painted with the gold coloring. I don't know that for sure, that's just my guess. Although I don't think there's any way to fully prevent the wear on the chain strap. Something that I do is when I'm done using the bag, I always make sure to leave the strap completely flat. I detach it from the bag, so I leave it pretty much exactly like this. And I think that that just really helps because it's not rubbing as much. I also think that it helps with the wear of the leather on the bag because you don't have the heavy strap just kind of putting pressure onto the very supple leather. So if the strap continues to wear or any other part of the bag and I just feel like it's not holding up the way a $3,500 bag probably should, it is nice to know that I probably will have the opportunity to swap it out for something else. So there's just also something to keep in mind. However, once you get this bag, if there is an issue with it, just be mindful that there is a very long wait list for the bag. So even if it does come damaged, you might be waiting up to almost a year to get a replacement. I did hear of somebody who got the bag delivered after being on about roughly a 10-week wait list, and this person was dissatisfied with the way the bag was delivered to them, and they requested a replacement, and they were told that it would be almost a year before they could get a replacement for their bag. So, you know, just be mindful of all these things as you're considering this bag. I would say that it's relatively fragile. There are some issues with it potentially, but if you're okay with that, then I would say definitely go for it. In regards to any other wear on this bag, I would say it's very minimal. I think everything is holding up pretty well. You will notice that there is some creasing on the front of the bag, as well as on the bottom and on the sides. But as I had said in my previous videos, I was definitely expecting this to happen. It is very supple lambskin leather, so I knew that it was going to start to crease. You know, it's definitely not very structured. It's very, very supple. But I definitely don't think the wear looks bad at all. I think it actually kind of enhances the bag and makes it look really nice. But if you're expecting it to stay in the same condition that it was when you first got the bag, that's not going to happen. It's definitely going to crease over time. And I would just say one way that I think you can kind of help that to happen more slowly would just be to not leave the straps attached to the bag when it's not in use. You know, I always leave them flat, so this way they're not causing any additional creasing onto the bag. Now that I talked about some wear and tear that I'm experiencing, I just want to get into some of the questions that my subscribers have had. So I'm just going to go through those real quick on my phone. And if you have any additional questions that I'm not answering in this video, please feel free to leave me a comment and I'll answer it as quickly as possible. So the first question I got asked quite a few times was regarding color transfer. As this is a white bag, you know, am I noticing any color transfer? So no, I am not noticing any color transfer, but I'm also not giving the bag any opportunity to develop any color transfer. Pretty much whenever I use this bag, I always make sure that I'm wearing very light colors. I'm not wearing denim. What I'm wearing right now would be a perfect example of something I'd wear when I'm using this bag. Anything that I purchase, I always make sure it has been washed, just in case there's any extra dyes on there. And I am really extra, but something else I always do is if I'm traveling with the bag, if it's in the car with me or anywhere else, even in a restaurant sometimes, because if the seat has like a colored leather or anything on it, I always keep the dust bag and I actually just put the bag into the dust bag like this. So I keep the bag in the dust bag pretty much whenever I'm not holding the bag. So if I'm setting it down in a restaurant or at a bar or in my car, it probably looks like this, just because I am so mindful of the potential of there being color transfer onto the bag. So yes, if you were going to go with this bag, I would say you probably have to be careful. I don't know if you have to be as careful as I am being, but I really, this is my first white bag and I really don't want to ruin it. So this is how I'm caring for it. Something else I do, but I do this for all my bags, regardless of what color they are, is if they're not in the dust bag, if I want to just kind of leave them out and let them air out, I always put the bag onto the dust bag like this, just in case the surface has any you know, oils on it or any cleaner that I am not noticing. I don't want to give it the opportunity to really sit in that for a long period of time. So I always just lay it on the dust bag like this. Like I was just saying, pretty much when you are storing the bag, same thing. I pretty much always keep it in the dust bag, and I just put it inside the dust bag. I leave these two metal pieces outside of the dust bag just because I don't want them laying onto the leather. And then I also just make sure that this piece is sticking out, and then I usually just cover it like that. And then, like I said, I always leave these two straps completely flat, separated from the bag. So I pretty much just lay it like this almost all the time when it's not in use. Occasionally I do take it out just to make sure that the leather has the opportunity to breathe, and I also make sure that it's not in direct sunlight. So I was completely set on getting a Samorga organizer for the bag at the time I purchased it. However, now I'm wondering if I still want to get one for the bag, because I do feel like the shape of it is pretty structured, and inside, because it does have these individual compartments, I do think it'll be kind of odd to have an organizer in there. I don't know if I would need 3 separate organizers, as I do typically only use this middle compartment right here. So it's something I'm still going to look into, but I might just go without the organizer for the bag. The next question I got was whether or not the gold strap was causing any additional creasing or indents on the bag. So I don't believe it has, especially because you do have the opportunity to use the gold strap where it's either laying on this side of the bag or the opposite side. They look exactly the same. So I think it will kind of wear evenly, and it'll create less wear because you are kind of dividing it between the two sides of the bag. But as I always take the strap off when the bag's not in use, I'm not really noticing any additional creasing or indents that I think are caused by the strap. The strap is really heavy though, so I mean, I think if you were to lay the bag like this and then have the strap laying on top of it, maybe it could cause some additional indents, but yeah, that's pretty much, I haven't really noticed that at all. And then the next question I got was whether or not the bag was heavy. No, I don't think the bag is heavy at all. This strap, the gold chain strap, is relatively heavy. When you do not have that attached to the bag and you're only using the canvas strap, it's extremely lightweight. But even with the gold strap, I still feel the bag is extremely lightweight because it is just made out of a very soft leather, and there's really no additional details on the bag to add weight to it. The next question was whether or not the leather was being scratched because it is so supple. I don't, I'm gonna knock on wood, but I don't see any scratches on the bag at this point, but I also am very careful with my bag, so I tend to not wear much jewelry around the bag. My nails, I'm also very careful about my nails potentially scratching the bag, but I do always keep them in the kind of like round almond shape, so they're not sharp where I think they could scratch the bag. And when my children are around, I always just kind of make sure to pivot the bag away from them just in case that they're holding something that could potentially scratch the bag. So I am very careful with it, but I haven't noticed any scratching on it, and I definitely haven't noticed that the chain has caused any scratching. The chain is so smooth and circular that it's really not gonna cause any scratching to the bag. Next question is what fits inside the bag. You can definitely fit a decent amount inside the bag. I'm going to show you that in a second. There are 3 compartments, as you see here. The middle one has a separate zipper to kind of secure your belongings. And each of the pockets, I would say, are relatively small, so you're not going to fit that much in there. I really do wish that instead of doing the 3 pockets, they maybe opted for 2, because I do think that you'd be able to fit larger items inside the bag and also fit more. Also, if you stuff the bag too much on either side, you will notice that it starts to bulk up and it kind of loses its shape. It also, if you fill it too much, it causes a lot of structuring, I guess, in the bag, where it's just very structured. So it's not like the supple pillow cushiony like leather that the bag is supposed to look like. It definitely looks more like a structured bag. So, but now I'm going to show you what fits inside the bag. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to put in is my card case. I have a pretty thin, small card case. I don't really like to use big wallets, but that, as you can see, easily fits in there without an issue. Next thing are my AirPods. These are not the Pro ones, so they are smaller. I also have a mask, which easily fits in there. Throw in some Altoids. And then the next thing that I always carry around is sunglasses. So if my sunglasses can't fit inside the bag, that's always something that is an issue for me. This is a pair of the WOULD sunglasses. And as you can see, this is a very large case, but that pretty easily fits inside the bag without issue. I can still zipper it up, no problem. And I didn't need to use either of the side pockets. And then if you were gonna put any lipstick or mascara or any makeup or anything, you can easily still fit that into the pockets. But I did wanna show, I got a new pair of Prada sunglasses, which I love. And they came in this very large, thick, hard case. This does not fit into the bag, or you can zipper it. Even if you take everything out real quick. So even if I were to take everything out of the bag, it does fit, but it definitely changes the shape of the bag. So I was pretty surprised by this, because to me this isn't that large of sunglass case, but yeah, like I can't even really fit it this way. And it will zipper, especially when everything is out of the bag, but it does make the bag a lot bulkier. And I think you could probably just put that on the bottom and then try to fit everything on top and around it. But for me personally, as somebody who sunglasses are like my top priority, the one thing I always want to keep in my bag, it is a little bit frustrating that it doesn't fit properly. Obviously, a super easy solution to that would just be to take the sunglasses out of this case and put them into like a soft case like this WOULD one, which is like great. And it's very, very easy to kind of mold into the bag and fit. But just keep in mind, if you are a sunglass person and you have a lot of hard cases, they might not fit well inside this bag. My iPad Pro 11-inch, I believe. So as you can see with the case, it does not fit. There's no way to get this to fit inside the bag, but if you remove it from the case, you can get it to fit. Hold on, let me just play a little bit of Tetris over here. You can get it to fit inside the bag in one of the front pockets. But this is what I was talking about earlier. As you can see, it easily fits, it's fine, but it does change the shape of the bag. So instead of looking supple and pillowy, like I think the bag is intended to look, it's very hard and structured and just definitely looks different. So if you're okay with that, then it's really not an issue, but I want the bag to look, a little bit softer. So yeah, but you can get it to fit. So if you are looking for a bag that can fit an iPad Pro, this bag will fit it. And the last question that I wanted to answer was whether or not I would repurchase the bag. Yes, I would repurchase the bag. I do really like it. I love the way it looks. I do like the fact that it's very different than a lot of the other bags that I see out. I absolutely love the fact that it comes with the 2 different straps, and I think that they make the bag look very different depending on which one you're wearing. I like that the chain strap is removable if you just want to keep the bag a little less dressy and a little bit less heavy. So I do think it's a great bag. I do think it's priced pretty reasonably, considering that it is the lambskin leather. The fact that you do have different options with the different straps and how to wear it. I do think that the price is justified, but I do wish that it was made a little bit better for the price. You know, I think that I completely understand, obviously, as the links rub together, you know, of course there's going to be some wear to it, but I just feel like they probably could have used a different material, coated it differently. I don't know, but I think there's probably something that they could have done where it wouldn't have worn so easily. You know, but overall I would still repurchase it. I do really love the bag, and I think it's a great option, especially for spring and summer. I do really like the white. I think that the green and the silver are great options too, but for me, I do wear a lot of gold jewelry, so I did want to stick with the gold. So yeah, and as far as the size goes too, I did get the PM size. I think the size is perfect. I don't know if I would have wanted the MM. I think that would have been a little bit too big, especially because I enjoy wearing the bag crossbody, and I think if you were trying to wear the MM size crossbody, it might look a little bit big, especially depending on how tall you are. But long story short, yes, I would repurchase it. I would recommend the bag. I would just be mindful of all the things I discussed in this video when you are going to purchase it. And the last thing I wanted to do with this video is just to try the bag on for you and show you the different ways that you can wear it. If you are interested in how I style this bag, definitely check out my Instagram. Like I said earlier, I do post twice a day, and I do post pretty significantly with this bag, so there are tons of outfit options on there for that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the different ways to style the bag using the various straps that come with it. So first is our favorite, the chain strap. So you just attach it in the circle here, and then in the circle here. If you just want to leave it with just a chain strap, you just wear it over your shoulder, and then this is where it falls. I'm 5'4", so that's where it falls on me. You could also leave it in the crook of your arm, and of course you can just carry it like that. So that's the chain. And then if you want to attach the canvas strap as well, you would just leave the chain strap like this. Take the canvas strap, insert it into the two little circular gold hoops over here. And then you can wear it either over your shoulder like this, which is how I wear it, I would say most of the time. Or the other way I love to style it is crossbody like this, and then I do sometimes adjust the strap just so it is a little bit higher on me. But I like this one because I think it looks a little bit cool and different, but also because if I am wearing denim jeans, if it's higher, I don't have to worry about color transfer because it's not touching my jeans. But if I were to wear jeans, I would always make sure to wear a longer jacket like this to kind of protect the bag from the denim. But yeah, so this is another way to wear it. And then the last way to wear it would be just to detach both straps, and then you can just kind of wear it under your arm like this as kind of like a portfolio or a clutch. Just leave it like that. And I think that looks really great too. You could even attach the gold strap if you wanted to. Then still wear it as a clutch, just with the chain strap kind of hanging down. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, and also hitting that notifications bell so that you'll be the first to know when I post my next video. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.